Hey there, good afternoon. I'm Lucas Bond with the Missouri Department of Conservation, and welcome to this week's Habitat Hints. And we're going to be talking about the cost share program and what MDC's Jordon Beshears have done with a landowner to make his land the way it is today, and what he has done with the cost share program helping this landowner out. So I'm going to toss it over to Jordon, and we're going to just chat about and show you exactly what you can do if you work through cost share program with a private lands conservationist. So let me turn this around here real quick. Good afternoon, Jordon. How are things?
Going great.
Good.
Going
So
great.
you're going to show us kind of what this landowner you worked with, what they were needing work with on the cost share program, correct?
Yes. Yep. So we're here in Callaway County. Met with this landowner last summer, early fall. He was interested in making his property better for quail, turkeys, deer, rabbits, you name it. They spend a lot of time out here hunting, just doing recreational activities. Came out here, toured the property, and we noticed there were several areas where that they've been mowing for hay or just mowing to keep the weeds back, if you will. There was a lot of fescue that has grown up in the mix, but we also noticed there are lots of native plants, lots of native warm season grasses and wildflowers, legumes. So talking through it a little more with the landowner, we applied through the Environmental Quality Incentives Program with NRCS, and that's it's a cost share program to help offset the cost of doing habitat work on his property. So he got in. We selected several of these areas that were heavy in fescue, which is not good wildlife habitat. And you can see we came in the fall and did an application of glyphosate to kill the fescue out. That was in roughly late October, early November, after we'd had a frost and the native plants had died off, if you will, for the winter. And you can see the result. We've taken that fescue sod, hammered it, killed it out, and we've got a lot of good forbs or wildflowers here. This one that's flowering, it's sensitive briar. It's in the legume family. And you notice if you touch the leaves of the plant, they'll actually close up. So that's where it gets its name, sensitive briar.
Cool.
Then we've got all sorts of native grasses in here as well. Big blue stem, Indian grass, little blue, and then several species of Lespedeza and Desmodium. Now those are legumes and they're big time seed producers, which is very critical and important for birds like quail in the wintertime to feed on.
Now tell us, how this went in. You came in and you sprayed it. I mean, how much is this we've sprayed?
You can see the old mowed line there.
Yeah.
That was the field edge. Beyond that has been in CRP for a number of years. It's basically this rainbow-shaped piece. This is probably 3 to 4 acres that we came in, applied herbicide, and then we also overseeded it with some additional wildflowers during the dormant season. So we're not seeing them pop up quite yet, but they take some time.
And doing this is good for habitat, correct?
Correct.
Specifically what type? Your quail and your turkey, or is it good for deer, good for...
Kind of all the above. And in this neck of the woods, brood habitat is something that we're really lacking for grassland birds and for turkeys, turkey poults. Fescue does not provide that. It doesn't attract many insects. It's not good cover. It's hard for the poults to navigate, and they get wet in the early morning dew, and then they get hypothermia, and sometimes they'll die. So by spraying the fescue out, we release the native plants, the flowering wildflowers and forbs, and that's going to attract a lot of insects and increase brood habitat on the property.
Now, my quick question is, you said you sprayed this, and this hasn't been a year ago. It's less than a year ago, right?
Correct.
And then this all came up this spring.
It has, yes. So these plants were here in the mix already. These perennial plants, like the sensitive briar and the desmodiums and legumes, were just sitting there waiting to be released. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes they're not in the seed bank, or we may not see them out in those old fescue fields. We kind of got lucky here. We noticed that there were lots of those good plants remaining, or remnant population. We sprayed the fescue, and then here they came.
Wow, so just one spray, and this is what you got.
Correct.
Wow, this is awesome. So where can people learn more about this, and if they would like to work with their private lands conservationist or be a part of that cost share program, where can they get more information at?
Yeah, they can go to mdc.mo.gov, or they can also call their local USDA service center. Every county's got one, and there's a private land conservationist that services every county in the state.
All right, I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much, Jordon. And again, I'm going to echo what he said. Learn more on our website at mdc.mo.gov, and we'll see you next time.